can do anything good. I can do anything good.
There's music everywhere. Like there's aquaphonic percussion coming from the water as we speak. My heart beats. And when you create music, you just say, well, I'm just gonna put a box around the sounds that were already there and create a bit of order.
I think my whole life is great, and I can do anything good, and there ain't a goddamn thing on this planet that's gonna hold me back from doing anything. I said anything. Goddamn anything.
Well, I don't think you can put a point on a lot of these things, and that's why I think poetry is the chosen art form. So to then say what was going on in my head when I wrote it, like the best answer is the finished song.
Thank you guys so much, the Holy Gasp.
I lost my father 2 years ago in 2 days from today. He was sick for a very long time, and he died like everybody's father does. And then a few months after that, I had noticed that my therapist of about 5 years was looking frail. He had a doctor's appointment that week. The following week, he told me the results of that doctor's appointment, which was pancreatic cancer, and that he had 3 months to live, and that he was ending his practice at the end of the week. And then he died. And then, right around the same time, my wife and I began the slow, long process of separating. And now I live on Toronto Island in a studio at the artist residency here. And I'm making an album.
You can leave to the dishes in the kitchen, sing I'm gonna love you.
I wanted to write an album about the death of my father and the divorce of my wife.
Babe, you got no need to stress. I signed up for the title, but I'll take you in your mess. I'm gonna love you. Yeah.
Sebastian Schindler.
Orchestrator.
We're at 18.
I guess my role is orchestrator, but it's also interpreter. It's translating things into like musical literacy.
We only fight about one thing. Seb likes organ, and I love organ.
Hold on. Yeah, that's what's happened.
My favorite part of it is working with Sebastian, because the vast majority of the lyric writing and composing happens in solitude. And the vast majority of it demands that I go very far inwards.
With the under part of the dress is crinoline?
Crinoline, that's what I've been told.
A stiff fabric made of horsehair? Who the fuck's wiping their son's tears with horsehair?
With the veil, then you gotta stretch a veil. It's not nice. This is before she knows that she's gonna marry her son.
No, the veil's here. The veil covers your face.
I'm processing in real time. I'm writing songs about the divorce while I'm mourning the divorce. I'm writing songs about the death of my father while I'm mourning the death of my father. And I'll go into the studio and lay it all out. Like, while I'm still processing these emotions.
Donatien Boudinieren from his face that fell a tear. I don't like that either. There's too many F's. Fuck. I've been stuck on this line for weeks. Yeah, and I gotta record it in 3 minutes.
like 5:30 on a Friday. I'm with some good friends. We got beers and coffee and weed, and we'll make a record.
You got to love yourself in the morning when you wake up and you drain the black tar out of your heart.
18 musicians for an 18-track album in 11 days straight.
It's going to be a mix of all these different kinds of influences or kinds of genres even packed in one thing.
Kind of a fusion of like these sort of Latin-y sounds.
It's dark, it's comedic.
Big band jazz with like surf.
Spy movies and punk rock.
Like the Adam West Batman show.
Tons of characters, there's tons of spoken word, there's tons of scene changes.
But it's not cabaret.
No,
I really hate when people say it's cabaret.
I think it's a cabaret.
Ultimately, it's an album about mental health, and ultimately, it's an album about human suffering.
To love yourself when your daddy dies and your wife walks out and your kitty cat cries and cries 'cause she went away. You got to love yourself when you hate yourself, when you berate yourself, my man.
It's less of an album and more of a poetic portrait of a man and a relationship.
Okay, let's do another one.
Beware from string section.
Got Swedish at the end.
Gotta be careful not to make these cellos sound Swedish.
Okay.
It's a ska part.
That's Swedish. Swedish.
Yeah.
Do you want to move on?
Give me one more, and if I don't get it, then we'll move on.
It's always the first half that's great and the second half's super Swedish. Swedish berries. Here we go.
He's the kind of kid who's gotta shake his knuckles.
It's a weird puppeteering act to like invite so many people to manifest the expressions of my own suffering.
You don't complain of growing blind and blind. And that is the king of a great wine.
You can play that part kind of mariachi also.
And then I have to go like to a bunch of, string players and say, will you fellas,
Play
will you
these
play this
about the song.
for my dead dad? Is that even ethical?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, of
but
course
like
it is,
it's, I don't know, it's icky.
Pure power pop kind of like cheerleader. B-E-A-T-W-A-V-E!
Yeah.
I'm just getting louder and bigger and more elaborate and more eccentric in the hopes that more people will notice.
B-E-A-T-W-A-V-E!
That's your note, yeah.
Full disclosure might fuck that up.
Oh, me too.
Okay.
B-E-A-T-W-A-V-E! B-E-A-T-W-A-V-E!
That's great! That sounds so good!
He turns out the lights and he closes the shutters. He weeps for his wife and he curses his mother. He's out of work with his bills to pay.
Single female?
Not gonna get out of bed today.
One of the last things my therapist and I were talking about before he died was like how much of my arts practice is just masochism and how much am I just like kind of dwelling and obsessing over old deep wounds.
Can you go an octave up? Yeah, no problem, right?
On one hand, you have this like very personal experience. The ending of a marriage, the death of a father,
took these personal experiences and made them very universal.
It all happens at the same time, you know, and he's putting all of that into these songs. You can feel the irony, and you can feel the sadness, and you can feel the happiness, and you know, all these layers in his lyrics, considering that those are pretty heavy, you know, personal things that are happening, to be able to put it out to the world with a sense of humor.
Like some pretty dark humor, hand in hand with like actual dark subject matter. Trying to find the humor in something like emotionally debilitating.
In the fucking groove!
Yeah, it's not baby. It's not like, baby, I got to know right now.
Baby, I got to know right now. We can sleep on tonight. Will you come home tomorrow? Baby, I got to know right now. We can sleep on tonight. Will you come home tomorrow? Baby, I got to know right now. We can sleep on tonight. Will you come home tomorrow? Baby, I put a shiny ring around your finger. I never tied no noose around your whole life. I don't mind if you have space for other people, but be stay with me if that still makes you my wife. I got to know, babe, I got to know right now. Oh, fuck!
Just got a text message saying that I'll receive some papers about an uncontested divorce that I'm supposed to sign. A text message? Who the fuck text somebody about that? I just feel like she turned her back on us. I feel like she gave up. I'm just not ready for that. She's not ready to like sign a bunch of papers and be a divorced person.
Little lamb, in the springtime you ran through the tallest of all of the grass.
I don't feel angry. I just have a broken heart.
I sat down and waited, hoping satiated you'd return when the springtime had passed. Little lamb, little
I have to go record some xylophone now. I don't know what that line should be.
Take the veil and you cover the mirror, then you don't confront yourself. That's Oedipus's biggest theme.
Damn it, man. That's a shitty place to be.
I don't have a lyric. I don't know what to fucking say.
I'm starting to like shit talk myself now in my head, being like, ah, you fucker, the lyrics aren't done. All right, give me 10 minutes. I'm gonna go to the portable.
This fucking recording. This fucking recording. This is gonna be a posthumous release because it's gonna kill us.
Yeah.
He done a tie and bootin' near and threw a brick into the mirror and headed deeper into the ground.
Brick goes good.
Yeah.
Yeah, phonetically.
Do it. Polaris.
Used to have a woman, used to hold her tight, tried to treat her good. Used to say we'll make it, we can work it out, because I thought we could. It doesn't make any sense, doesn't make any sense, no, 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 no.
Like when you boil it down, our marriage ended on these trivial tiny little things. I want to kiss more in public. Sarit wanted to go out dancing more.
Then you threw me out, took all my shit. You know how that feels.
I mean, of course it's not about kissing in public and dancing. But it's also very difficult not to feel inadequate when someone's saying, well, if you can't meet these needs, I need to get them somewhere else.
Used to have a father, used to have a cat, used to have a bed. I'm 30 years old today and I'm getting divorced. My therapist is dead.
Men are singing the song because this man is hurt and he's got like men by his side, sort of. I guess what we're trying to do is keep the characters honest and keep them whole, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Try to keep them true to themselves.
She broke my heart.
The only time I like really looked at my father was when his mother died. Then he just seemed to really need eye contact. He was depressed his whole life. Anything that was too difficult was medicated with sleep. And I think that taught me that depression was a masculine trait, that to be a man meant to be depressed. To lose a father is poetic. And it's significantly more painful to lose the idea of the father you never had and always wanted than it is to lose the father himself. And to lose a therapist is just bizarre and absurd. But to lose a wife is terrible. Like, I would so much rather lose my father 20 times than lose my wife once. There was a while where every morning I would wake up to an empty bed and weep before I could start my day.
You, my friend, fucking done.
Oh my god. I can't believe it's happening.
Yeah, we sort of birthed an album for the last 11 days.
Yeah.
In studio.
Now we're gonna incubate it for a few days because it was premature.
See ya!
I gotta tell you though, tomorrow I'm gonna fill in some divorce papers and then I'm gonna start writing the next record.
Where we are, we're in a church on the island, St. Andrew by the Lake, where me and Ben are writing the score to The Freshman, which is a silent film we're doing for a film festival.
I think in a lot of instances, things have gotten much worse. The process of creating the project was actually quite a therapeutic process.
The actual recording process was so intense and so fulfilling. All big ups are followed by big downs. And like the down after that was pretty heavy.
Once that project is over, and one no longer has a wife or a father or an apartment or a cat or a project, life is actually quite meaningless. Oh, I'll always be starving, I mean it, I swear. I'll cling to your side every day, everywhere. And I won't run away if you don't run away. You know, it's not something we spoke about, but in January, my oldest friend JJ fucking hanged himself on New Year's. He planted the seed. So like when my thoughts go dark, they just go so dark now.
You know, I think sometimes we talk about it as if it was a burden, as if dealing with someone like this in these like stages of their life or going through something as something that you have to deal with.
I started seeing a new therapist, but he was falling asleep in the chair. And I said to him, I already lost a therapist. Like, if you're falling asleep in the chair, man, like, this ain't gonna work. And he referred me to another guy, but I just chickened out and didn't go.
Given what he's gone through in the last couple of years, I feel like it's totally legitimate. Like, grief is a real thing that people process.
And it doesn't matter that I made this record. I know it's good, that it will be successful, that people will like it. I just don't care.
What do you care about?
Nothing. Like, that's the truth. That's like the deepest, most painful truth. I don't wake up for anything. And most of the time, I just lie in bed all day. Sadness is beautiful. Sadness is productive. Sadness has a feeling. I'm not sad, I'm depressed. I don't feel anything. It just becomes this strange identity of loss. Like if you ask me who I am, I just feel like a guy who's lost. In both senses of the term.
This morning marks the very end. I tried my best to make amends, but love, a home, and family dear could not outnumber all I fear.